out of the goodness of my heart, because I didn't want to put that piece of junk back in. Might as well put a new one in. The guy that's the tenant, the guy that's living there, wanted a new sink and taps. There was nothing wrong with the old one. I could have left him in, so I changed them for him because that's what he
like
wanted.
a renovation, basically a free renovation.
So I've done so they're both getting a free renovation out of it, but if I do it properly, then they can't come back and claim any complaints. So and I get paid for it anyway. So. And I'm charging a little extra, and he's giving me extra for doing it anyway, because I've stopped the job to go and help him out. So it is a win-win, like you said. I've made a bit of money out of it. He's saving his premiums, and the homeowner's getting a decent job.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, Rocket League is a fucking huge update. Damn.
But yeah, talking about renovating and whatnot, there is a property I was looking at, but there's a catch to it. It's cheap for what it is, but it looks like it's a lot of work to be done. I don't know cost-wise.
Yeah.
It looks like an old person's lived there and they've not changed and
it's
probably basically it's a detached 2-bedroom bungalow, right?
Yeah.
But it looks really old inside. And when I spoke to the estate agent, they're saying, "Oh, you do realise it's a lot of work. I'll send you other properties around that price too." And I'm like, damn. Wow. But for the location it's at, and it's detached, Yeah. It's not really that common,
No.
Where I'm around anyway.
That is something in itself. If it's detached, it means you can turn your stereo up. There's no fucking wall that you've got to be quiet against. That's a selling point in itself.
Because most of the houses are either terrace or semi-detached.
Exactly.
It's the only detached build,
or the old council house style where it's 1-to-1. Even if it's only a duplex or whatever, you still got a neighbor that's part of you. So,
but what makes it even a bonus, though, they've knocked most of the houses down, and right next to, just opposite, like on the same street. If you it's just a crossing, like a small zebra crossing, just across the road is a new development site that's been done up recently. It's been doing up, so it's going to be new people.
Yeah.
So
if it's a reasonable price, then I'd say go for it.
Yeah,
as long as you got a couple
high, to be honest. I'll be able to haggle them.
You're on your own, aren't you? You're single.
Right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you do it, you buy it. Are you okay for DIY and doing your, painting and decorating and stuff like that?
Yeah, but
got a bit of common
if it comes to like structural stuff, I don't know what's the problem inside it. From looking at photos, I've booked a viewing, but they're not available until the week after. I know no one's gonna put a bid into it. It looks old, and it looks like it needs redecorating completely because.
Well,
I'm not worried about people
you're on your own. You see, you just move into 2 rooms. You pick the cleanest of the bedrooms and the living room and the kitchen. You live in those. You do the other rooms up first. You gut them, redo.
I've got to do it bit by bit, obviously, because
room at a time. And you don't have a lot of time because you work. So, but it's an ideal for a single person. I'd jump at that sort of chance.
Because, to be honest, it's really tight.
Like you said, if you've got no neighbours, then what's yours is yours, and you can do what you want. So you can crank your stereo up, whatever. You can't annoy the neighbours.
Like, there is another detached house. I think next to it is like a semi-detached or like a detached, another one.
Yeah.
But it's not linked up together, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, it's not touching. So it's yours. Yeah, I'd go for that sort of thing.
But
as long as it's really okay. Well, your best thing is to find yourself a builder and pay him a couple of $100 just to come and have a look and get his assessment, and he'll tell you if it's structurally sound. And as long as it's structurally sound, then it's just cosmetic, modernizing. So you can change the bath, you can change the shower, or put in a shower. You can change your sinks and your taps. You can paint and decorate it. You put new cabinets and whatever in, and that's it. That's all you got to do, as long as it's structurally sound.
Yeah,
you've got to do major building work, then that's different. Then that comes off the price.
Yeah, I'm quite lucky because I've got my relatives. One of them is a registered surveyor, and the rest of and there's a few of them who are civil engineers
There you
and an
go.
architect.
Get one of them to come and have a look with you and tell if it's at least structurally sound and you haven't got to strip it right back to the bare walls. And as long as that's
Yeah.
the case, then it's worth the money. If
Yeah, I
it's
can ask
just
one of
if it's just because he hasn't modernized it and it's old and run
But the
down
thing is,
from
though, I
just
went
not
past it. It
from
looks like
that,
not. It's a no chain. It means that no one's living there. It looks
Yeah.
like it's not been lived in
Yeah.
for a while.
well, that's the only other problem then, is to make sure that the water's not frozen and that the electric's all correct. You need a surveyor or whatever to come and look at it for you. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll cost you a bit to have that done, but it would be worth it in the long run for you. Then you know you're only doing cosmetic changes and you haven't got to fucking demo walls and shit.
But I was view it myself first and see if it's even and what I'll run. Like I'll obviously see the taps and stuff myself and whatnot. And then if I do like the place
Yeah.
and it doesn't look too bad, before obviously I go for the price, you know, you got to go through a surveyor and a solicitor.
Yeah.
And get
That's
all
all
that done
money.
then.
That's all extra money.
Oh yeah, yeah. It goes up to like just under £2,000 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1,900. I want between 1,700 to 1,900. I was quoted for that kind of stuff surveying over here and solicitor. But yeah,
And they all want that up front, don't they?
yeah, they want that up front. So the minute you say you want to buy it, like right away, they
Oh,
want that
you
all
need to
front.
pay me this much. What? I haven't even bought it yet. Oh, well, I've got to
Yeah.
come look at it for you. Boom, boom, $2,000. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
basically,
sucks.
yeah. It is what it is. It's
That's why
everywhere.
I'm
It's the
lucky.
same.
I can walk in it myself, and I know.
But still, isn't it a legal process you need if you go through a mortgage, though? Over here, it is.
That's if you got to get a mortgage that you can't afford. If it's a remortgage or.
What do you mean a mortgage can't? Generally, any mortgages, isn't it?
Well, no, because the
But you need a surveyor.
bank that's going to lend you the money, the mortgage company, they will come and do an assessment on it anyway.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Well, that's not coming out of your pocket because they'll do that before they'll lend you the money. So as long as as long as they
Well, some of
own
them
it.
have a product.
Because
fee
here's
that
the
covers
thing.
that,
Here's
though.
the thing. If you're paying, say, $100,000 for it,
Right.
and the mortgage company is going to lend you that $100,000 to buy it,
Right.
and then you have to pay them back over 25 years, whatever. So they'll come and they want to know that it sounds so that their money's not being wasted, and they know that they're going to get their money back.
But to be honest, most of my deposit, as I said, I'm gonna do a large deposit because, to be honest, with my wage, I'm not gonna get a high enough mortgage. But I've got enough. I've got basically covered, or just to cover the difference.
Uh huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've got enough to cover the percentage for the mortgage too. So I'll see what they say. But if you on Steam, I sent you a link to. I just look at the photos for me. Does it look too old?
Oh, hang on, let's have a look. Yeah, shit.
It's basically one in excess of 130 grand for it.
Hey Bash, hello man.
Hello, how's it going?
Fine man, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Not good. Yeah, same. I used to have a Greece.
Glad you're here man, I'm glad that I talked to you.
Yeah.
So all good at you man, all fine?
Yeah, it's all good. No, I used to live in Greece, and I was a little one on fire.
I just heard the news, the no more measures in UK, is it true?
Well, you don't have to wear a mask. They want to get rid of. The government said, yeah, pretty much, but there's only isolation left. But there's one thing they're going to say, no later than the 20th of March or something like that. That time they're going to get rid of isolation. No later than that. So they're going to do it no later than 20th of March. If the evidence supports it earlier, they'll take it off. You don't have to isolate either. Yeah, no, that's only left isolation.
I see, but okay, it's better than it was, right?
Yeah, it's not been strict for a long time, to be honest. only been wearing masks in public places. That's about it. Nothing else. And if you get
Oh,
COVID, you probably
okay. Yeah, like
No,
being
it's
cautious,
supposed
like
to.
because of the crowd and
Yeah.
that stuff. But no,
Yeah.
like
Physical stuff, so you
Wow,
can't
they
go to the
really want
restaurant. So
130,000 for that?
minimum, and an XF, so 131 plus. It's expensive, right?
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
But that's
there's a lot of mold in that fucking living room on the walls.
I know. I just
You
thought
can't
it looks
hide-
a bit
you
bad.
can't
The guy
hide that.
even said to me, it looks a bit too much. Like even the guy didn't even want to sell it to me.
Yeah, the wallpaper's got to be stripped for one thing, and that brings the plaster off. Okay, the fucking bathroom is shot completely.
I said to you, it's old.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to rip that toilet out.
To be honest, that is
fucking
quite cheap
bath.
for a detached house. Normally it's 300 grand for a ready up
Yeah, but it's how
detached
many
house.
bedrooms?
Okay.
One?
Two. It's got 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, nobody's fucking
Bedroom.
lived there for a long while, have they? Well, looks of it. There's nothing in there, so...
Like when I even went out in the area, it didn't even have blinds or anything. Like on the front, like you know where the door is, you know where the windows are.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh! It's classed as a conservatory on the back.
Yeah.
That's
So-
gotta fucking be redone. The roof looks okay. You might have to change all that fucking gutter piping and shit. And the glass, that's only a single pane glass. That's not double glazed on that back. So really, that's some porches.
Like the first bedroom's like the first bedroom's like.
If I hadn't
think-
seen the price, I would have said it would be a good doer-upper for you. But when you look
The
at
price
that,
is too high.
when you look at that, yeah, because
Plus that's without doing any of the building works as
yeah,
well.
the
You know.
brickwork looks like it needs remortaring. Yeah, the mold in the walls is a fucking bad letdown, and the electrics is running on the outside of the walls, so it's not inside the walls, so it's exposed. Which means, yeah, you can redo the cables, but
That cost over here. One of my colleagues don't know if a house costs about, depends on the size, but his house is a bit bigger than this one, and it can cost up to £4 grand a year.
yeah,
Well,
easy.
minimum between 3-4 grand.
Yeah, there's even mold in that fucking sunroom thing on the walls, and the electrics is nailed on the front as well. Yeah, no, I'd say don't bother, buddy. Not only that, the boiler and plumbing is all attached to the walls. That's not hidden in either. It's a combination boiler. That looks fucking old. That probably doesn't work very well, or it would need a major service. But the plumbing's fucking.
Yeah, that makes
all over
sense
the
why the
place.
guy said on the phone, I'll send you also other properties. You know, that's how this house needs quite a lot to do. It needs to be done
Yeah.
doing up.
The kitchen, yeah, all the plumbing's exposed completely. Yeah. I know English houses are like that. That's why I prefer this way of doing it, because
They don't do it like that anymore.
oh no, houses over here are timber frame, so all the plumbing and everything's inside the walls, and you can open up the walls to get to it later.
Oh, over here it's
It's all
inside the bricks.
breeze block and rock work and brick fascia outside. So yeah,
Hey,
it's solid.
can I tell you that property has full fibre to the premises, and do you know that there's a cheap fibre company that charges about 20 quid a month for like over 100 megs?
Well, the fireplace in the living room's not a fireplace anymore. That's been covered over. Want to rip that out. So where's
Do you
the
think
chimney?
someone
Where's
someone
the
must
chimney?
have?
We don't have a chimney, so why is there even a fireplace in there? You might as well knock that out. Gain you 2 feet.
maybe it's electrical one.
No, it's sealed up.
Well, I don't know.
It's very old.
Sorry.
I'm rather
Sorry,
worried
I'll
about
send
the
you.
mold. I'm a bit worried about the mold for you more than anything, hygienically wise, because painting and decorating is straightforward. You rip all that paper off, but you got to wash the walls down, then you got to prime them with an oil-based primer, which is hard to get nowadays because that is too badly damaged, and the plaster's going to chip like crazy. It's not
Imagine
dry.
you got a job for this. You would call this one of the
That would take me 6 months, but having said that, what I said on the first time I
I
spoke to
sent
you,
you it.
it looks structurally sound.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Like on the roof, it looks okay.
The roof's been done. Maybe it might have been 5 or 10 years ago, but that's not the original roof.
I know it doesn't match the profile, does it?
No, so that means that that roof's not leaking and it's in good order. But if when you look at your first picture, you look under the edge of the roof and you see that trim that goes across. Well, that's
Yeah.
not. That's your water pipe, your gutter. It's the gutter looks like it's in the wrong place. And why is it all brown or green or whatever, slimy? That would need to
So
be.
it looks like it looks like someone's not lived here for a while.
Yeah. And then on the right hand side, the brickwork, it looks completely shot. It's two different colours. So it's either been patched up or. And then those windows, yeah, they're fucking got to be torn out. Just trying to enlarge
So
it.
it'll probably cost the same price I bought the house. I'm not that
Yeah, you can
crazy.
add it. Yeah, add that on again to do it up again. So yeah, it's going to cost you 200 grand.
Nah,
I would say no, because that also the patio thing where you park your car. Well, one looks like your side of the fence is.
It's 3 basically. You can fit 3. It's quite big.
Yeah, but the house next to you is twice the size because it's already got an extension on it.
Yeah.
It dwarfs yours.
You gotta start somewhere.
Hey, it's a doer-upper. It's up to you. As a single guy, it's possible. I might invest.
I'm not making that much bucks.
Right, and it also depends on the area. I mean, if the area's not only that, looking at the front of the house on the right-hand side, see that solid wall, which is a stone wall. You've got if there's any problems with that stone wall, that's a huge job to repair and replace. Because that stone wall is almost as high as your house.
Oh.
And is that a house to the right, or is that just a retaining wall that holds their gardens in? Why is it so big? I'm actually.
They're physically not connected to each other. It's just a fence.
No.
Separate.
If you look at the house, if you're looking at the front, you see the 3 bins.
Yes.
Right. Look to the right. There's a big stone wall. What is that? Is that a building or is that just a retaining wall?
Right, it's a retaining wall because there isn't anything next to it. There's a little bit of a gap after the next building. It's a construction site a little bit after that's making new houses and that.
Okay, because I don't know how you would clean that wall up. I mean, it looks straight, but it looks okay, but it's not a very good view of it.
Okay, my other options were just to wait a bit.
Where's my invite?
Please. For what,
Thank
bud?
you.
Rocket League.
Oh, I'm just doing a download. I'm not playing.
Oh.
I'm in Fishing Planet. But
Oh.
I'm not. I'm looking at a house for Asher. I'm just trying to tell him yay or nay to buying a property. It's just,
Yeah, I was a 50-50 on it, and when I saw mold on the walls,
I would go. Okay, if you're 50-50, I would consider 25-75 against.
Oh wow!
Because that's a lot of.
A lot of work, huh?
A lot of work.
Uh-huh.
Well, the kitchen. Take a look at the kitchen. When you look at the sink, when you look at the sink,
I sent you on Teams
Yeah,
link
yes,
if you want to see it.
Yeah, I'm watching.
when you
I'm
look at
watching.
the sink, the worktop is free hanging on the left of the sink. So there probably was a dishwasher or something under there. But there's
Yes.
nothing supporting that.
Maybe a laundry also.
Yeah,
Laundry machine. Oh, yeah, washing machine.
machine.
That's
Yeah,
the
washing machine probably.
Yeah.
There is plumbing under there, but I don't know what it's for.
This is a gas system, right? This is a gas.
That's a gas combination boiler, they call it in UK. Yeah.
Yeah.
It heats your water.
Yeah.
But the water pipes go up the wall. What is there bedroom? There's no bedrooms upstairs, so why do they go up?
There's no upstairs. It's a bungalow.
Right. So why do those pipes go up to the ceiling? And what's that big brown rust stain on the wall?
I don't know.
Top end.
Probably haunted. I
Look,
don't know.
the seal is okay. It has height, you know, so you don't feel like in box or something, you know. So
Yeah.
you have
Oh,
like
it's
two-
got do
220 at
abilities,
least.
but I'm thinking the walls have got mold in them, and because they're plaster, it soaks into the plaster. So if you have to take the plaster off, that's a son of a bitch to redo. And then look in the living room. There's a big cable coming down the wall that's about a foot,
I knew there was a catch because
foot into the
semi-detached
corner.
house.
And what's that cable hanging down from the ceiling for? Because it doesn't go
I
anywhere.
knew there was a catch to it because the average semi-detached over here is 250 grand, and I'm saying, how are they? Why do they want for a detached 131 excess of? No.
Yeah, and you got to put another
Mm.
80, 90 grand in at least. Minimum.
What I'm
To make it livable.
my opinion for this is this house can be very well settled, very well. You can have very
I could do it, yeah,
yeah,
but
it can be.
Asher might not be able
He's
to.
so how to say, so cushy home, you know, let's put it that way. But it really takes a lot of renovation, so I don't know how much you pay at first for this, and then you gotta
130, in excess of
Minimum.
130,000.
So 131 or more, basically, that you asked them for the high, what price they want to pay. But 31.
31,000 pounds for this.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
well,
Yes.
man, that's a high
That's cheap.
standard.
Normally it's 250,000
Yeah, but
for a
that's high
semi, like,
standard
or
in
two.
UK. Because in Serbia for 1,000 you can have, man, you can have a castle.
Yeah.
All right, I know what you mean, but definitely,
Basher, I would say no. If he's going to send you some
yeah, it's
more,
too, I don't know, it's too much, man. I
keep
don't
in
know.
contact with me.
I don't know how much is your salary, but
And
if you make 10,000, 15,000 per month, then okay. But man, otherwise the price is high. I don't know, because you need a lot of renovations, and I suppose because the standard of now you just told me the price of this in this condition, this house costs that much. With this condition, so I assume that also the renovation is gonna take
as well. So all the windows.
renovation is going to take
sure.
so much because you know,
Yeah.
also the all those people that's gonna do the renovations, they also charge a lot since the property in this stage costs that much. So you would, well, I don't know how much, but at least maybe at least a 50% of the price you gotta invest, you know, for maybe for the whole renovation, something like that.
Yeah.
I would say at least I don't know. In Serbia, you would give 20,000
from a builder.
So in
builder
UK,
had
you
a
gotta
look at
give
the
60.
photos, and it's not worth 130,000. It's too much work to be done.
I think it is. I
Tell
think,
them that.
but it's okay.
Tell
It's worth.
Tell them you'd
fixing.
offer 90,000 and go no higher. You'd offer 90 because you got to rip it to bits to redo it, but it ain't worth more than that, no matter where it is.
Okay.
Okay. The reason why is because it's detached. That's all.
Yeah, well, it's a detached garden shed at the moment. That's all it's worth.
Okay, but it can be fixed, and the
It
garden
can be
is a little bit
fixed, but
strange. It goes
It can
into
be
a
fixed, but
square.
you've got to invest so much into it to make it livable.
Yes.
Personally, it's
want
not
the price down.
financially smart.
Yes,
Me,
it's not
I just
financially
thought
smart.
because
Correct
I can
answer.
be honest, the mortgage I can get doesn't even cover. I have to use my own deposit to cover the rest of it, and that wouldn't. I would take me ages to even save up the right amount or even get a loan to do
Yeah.
the rest of it up. So
Yeah, it's too unhealthy. Nah. So,
But as much as I
offer,
can say,
tell them you'd offer 90 to have to do
Okay.
all that work on it. Say 90 is as much
But
as you
yeah,
could offer on it. It's not worth any more than that. I don't care where you live. You could live in the middle of fucking London. I wouldn't pay 130,000 for that.
oh, you wouldn't know. You know how that'll be cost in London?
200,000.
No, for
It's
a
not
lot more
fucking
than
worth
that.
it. Yeah, but it's not worth it.
My cousin bought just a tiny little flat right in London. She had to pay 400 grand.
What she said.
And it's in Enfield. Like that's not even like central. It's like at least 40 minutes away from centre
let me
on
ask
a
you something.
tube.
if you
Oh.
if you make some price, I don't know if he accepts 90 or whatever, and you do the full renovation, for how much money you can get for the renting it, for example?
In the city, because it's 2 bedrooms, I would say you could push between £650 and £750, £650 to 750 a month.
700 800 per month pounds, right?
Between £650 is
Okay.
650. Yeah, I'd say that's the average around there. Yeah,
So
for
you'll
a 2 bedroom.
so per year it would take 7,000. So if you want to get back the whole money you invested, it would take you at least 15 years, maybe more. Yeah, well, so
Yeah.
you gotta look at that way.
Huh.
You gotta look at that way. Well, when I buy something, I try to look at that way. I mean, in the city, when you buy in the city, not if you buy in a village, of course, your village you cannot rent for that price. But in the city, if you're buying something, just try to calculate to see if how much money you can get it, and you can get that money back. In in what time.
Yeah,
That's also
I don't
important,
know,
like
but in the
installments.
UK, they've been in the UK they've been building so now because houses are so expensive and the wages aren't going up. What they've been doing in these new build houses are quite small for a more affordable price, but they're really small. You're talking about you get a 90 square meter or like 75 to 80 square meter. Is that small?
Yeah, I live in I live in a cottage.
It's not
I live
small.
in a summer house or a cottage over here, and it's
Well,
thousand
they sell that, but they sell
1,100
that for
square
120
feet.
grand though. They sell that for between 100. If it's a flat, it's 120. If it's a house, a semi-detached house, you're going for 100 and 150.
New? New or old?
Pardon?
New or old?
Brand new, built.
There you go.
Development
If it's
price.
just been built, you're paying 170, and they want 130 for this thing that's ready to fall down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's about 150 grand, brand new, semi-detached. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, buy a brand new one, then you might as well. Be
Yeah,
cheaper,
but
because
the
then you haven't
catch
got to
with
do
them
anything
is
for 10 years.
Yeah, but the catch, I don't know if you've
An extra
the
20,
weird
eh?
thing is they only let you buy like up to 75%, and then the rest the housing association sells you like the 25% remaining as rent, so
Yeah.
people can get a more affordable mortgage.
Yeah.
But every year you can staircase 10% of the value, so you can buy it in the next 2 years the full house if you wanted to.
Go that route if you can afford it. At least
So
you
you
get
get
a
what I'm
new
saying?
house
So
out
you're
of it.
paying a mortgage and then you're paying rent on the side, which is paying towards the, like a lease, like
The rest
towards
of
the
your
rent, so the
mortgage.
25%. So it works out the same as getting a mortgage if you had that much. It's just that people who are on lower income who couldn't get the full 150, what they'll say is, okay, you can't buy it outright. That's the problem, even if you can get that amount. They'll say you can own like either 25, 50, or 75% deposit,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was going to go that route. It
All a
weren't
big
too bad.
con, isn't it? Seems like a
But,
bit of a con. Yeah.
yeah, but it is what it is, to be honest, because
That's a lot
banks
of work.
don't give you the full amount anymore.
I know. But
Yeah, a
that's
lot of work.
That's a lot of. That needs a lot of work. The windows are probably. I'm looking at the back at the moment. The windows are probably rotten. There's definitely mold and that all climbing up the walls. Yeah, that's a lot of work.
But that glass window
Sun
room,
porch.
let's
It's
put it
called a
that way.
sun porch.
It was like
Sunroom.
it was made like after
Add-on.
a while, like it was added, but you can see that it was added like a fast way. They didn't pay attention to do it like the right way. So definitely you got. And by the way, I didn't see that the house. I don't know how big the wall is, how fat it is. But here in Serbia, we use isolations. I mean, the styrofoams, like 10 centimeters. So I don't know in London how cold the winters are, but I suppose that isolation is very important. So it wouldn't be good that you have only bricks, but if the bricks are like 30-40 centimeters, then it would be fine. But if it's just a tiny one, like a 10-15, then you need some isolation also, because you would lose the heating,
By law,
dissipating
they
outside.
have them isolated in here.
So it is
Yeah,
isolated, huh?
Help. Yeah, there has to be. If it doesn't,
Ah,
the
it has to-
government
ah,
can
okay.
pay up 75%. They can give you up to 75% of the cost.
Okay,
Crazy.
then it's
Yeah.
okay.
Because they
And
want to save the
And
whales,
they
you know, 'cause if you
normally
use-
drill holes in the outside and pump the
Yeah.
foam into the wall. But
So
that's
you
not
don't
the
have
best
to.
way. That's not the best way of doing it. It should be done on day one. That's just an after thing that they came out with.
But
they
keep looking,
usually have
keep
a
looking.
They normally have a 2-inch gap between the brickwork and the blockwork on the inside. So yeah, and that's where the heat gets lost. For 130, I'd say no. Just my 10 cents, buddy. I'd say it's too much.
I thought it was too good, but too
Too
good
much.
to be true.
Too much work. Too much work
Mm.
for you.
I mean, it can be done, but
honest,
it only
financial-
requires the money. That's it. If you,
I could do it
Yeah.
myself as well, but yeah, I'm not living there.
yeah, of course.
But there's a lot of things I would have to.
Well, yeah, if you had it as your
Yeah.
own, of course, and you can do the job, you can do it time by time, day by day, little by little, and of course, in
Well, that's what
I
I
don't
do.
know.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I do for
2
a
3
living
years,
anyway.
you'd finish it, and it would be so cushy. I got it.
That's what
I
I
know.
do for a living is home renovations. That's my
course.
job as such.
That's awesome, man. That's a really good job. Because you live on your own fingers. That's it. You don't depend on anyone but your knowledge.
Correct.
And that's the best.
Not for that price, Basher. I would say no, buddy. Keep,
Okay, no
keep
problem.
looking,
Thanks.
keep looking, buddy. Just trying to look after you.
Yeah, keep looking more.
Thank you.
When I was looking for some apartment in Greece, in Athens. I was looking for almost 3 years because you know the Greece has a very old infrastructures, and if you ever been in Athens, you really notice that they really have old buildings and they don't have isolations. They didn't care about they didn't have a law, so they would just build it. So we got it. That's it. You know, and then they saved a lot of in materials, a lot of money in there. So it took me almost 3 years to find what I really was satisfied. Let's say so. I'm not wow full like I'm pleased, but I'm satisfied. Okay. So that's how it is. You're not buying a bread, you know, like every day you're gonna get another one. So you gotta be, you know, cautious and careful. And also beside the walls and those things, also the papers. I don't know how it goes in UK. I suppose everything is legal and blah blah blah. But you also gotta care about it because humans are humans all over the planet. So don't get to some point after 10 years, you know, you find out that there was another owner, you know, that actually that something was wrong with the land or something like that. So you gotta really do a deep search. I suppose you got the lawyer for that type of bureaucracy. When I was buying, I had to check it all twice. It was crazy.
Yeah, most of the time they have like.
But this is Balkan, so this is Balkan, so it can't be compared, of course, but still. Sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna send you this other one. That's it. That's the last one. This is what you get, but this is like what they're making now over here. I'm waiting for new ones to come. This one got sold, but this is the same price, but a bit less. It's 180 grand, but they let you buy like 130, you know, on the mortgage, so it's cheaper. And you pay the rest in rent. But I'll show you what they look like.
Yeah, I want to see what looks cheaper.
But they're small. That's the problem. They are smaller than their old houses. But I sent you K-Man and I'll send to you coffee.
And what is the location you're looking for? Is it something like in the area that you know?
No,
what I'm saying.
To be honest.
What I'm saying, you know, maybe you can move a few miles, you know, further or something like that.
Yeah.
And you can save a lot that way. That's what I'm saying.
This is like 5 miles further than me. This is brand new, but it's sold out. But they're building more like these around my town.
Yeah. I guess there's a yard at the
But
back.
At least it'd be new, but look at it another way. That's two-story.
This is duplex.
So your bedroom,
Duplex.
yeah,
You share
it's-
it. You share
yeah.
with someone.
It's semi-detached.
Yeah.
Yes. But the full price of this property is 108 grand. But depending on what you can afford in your mortgage, they'll take that and they'll take the rest as rent. And then until you pay the share off or the rent pays it off, you then own 100% of the property. You get me? That's how they're doing it nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. But rent could be like, depending on what percentage. If you own
User
like,
disconnected from your channel.
yeah,
Don't-
like for
don't
example, sorry, it's 120. Like you can pay up to like 100, like between 170 to 98 pounds a month for the rent on this place. But yeah, I think maybe a new property might be better. I don't know. I'm looking. I'll keep looking and I'll let you know.
Yeah,
But,
just keep looking. Once you
thank
go
you.
into the property, once you see the yard, the neighbor, once you go into it, you will feel it. You will feel yourself. You will feel how you're going. You will get that imagination. You will get some positive vibe, and that's how it works. So you will find it. Just keep searching it. That's it. And of course, money is the main. How to say it? Money makes decision, and makes the dream come true. But still, very important feeling is when you move into something. It's for the you want to be there. You want to, spend your time in there. So that's the most important. Not like oh, this is the cheap or something like that. Okay, it is important, but if you can combine with the emotional way, that would be awesome.
Yeah, the only bad part is, like you said, Basher, it's duplex. So if your next door neighbor is an asshole,
Yeah,
gotta
that's the
live with
problem.
it.
Yeah.
You
you
don't
gotta
know.
live with
Well,
it. Whereas the
if
other
I'm
one
not-
is you are on your own.
Might be some screaming,
To be honest, if I
if they
didn't
got
want to put
crazy-
like a deposit, then the minimum, right? I could easily get a Victorian, what's it called, terraced house. You know what a terraced house, don't you?
Yeah.
Caveman. So
Yeah.
we all have like a row of houses connected to each other, like a whole street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you got neighbor on both sides.
But the thing is, though, most of the time when you go to those properties, most of the people will be. This is gonna sound bad, but council estate people, and you're gonna be the odd like one or two who own the house, and then the rest are like either, council estate basically.
I've been there
Maybe.
and done that. I lived on an estate like that. I ended up getting out.
And the what?
I got out.
Oh.
It was too
Well, that-
unsafe because I was earning good money. I was working as a satellite controller. This was in Droitwich,
Okay.
in Worcester, and yeah, it was a council estate. I bought the house, I did it up, and then everybody else was jealous. And they
This is what I
and
mean.
they were on
I
the
just don't want to
dole,
be in
and
that state.
then it was your car getting kicked by balls and spray painted and shit like that. And then
Well,
when
it's not a little
when
bit
they
better
kicked the
since
front
then,
door
but-
in, and I got attacked by a gang of 16 in my own home, it was time to get
Selling
out.
them good price though. They're selling them for like 80 grand, 70 grand, and they're quite big. You can if they've done them up on site.
I bought mine for 15,000 and I sold it for 39,000 3 years later, and didn't live there at all. I rented it out, and I'd already done it up. So yeah, I wouldn't ever go to a council estate ever again.
Okay, so you wouldn't buy one. So my only choice is basically either buy a new build, like a new build, or
Or that
like a semi-detached old build.
Yeah.
Essentially, if you live in a semi-detached, it's mostly not a council estate.
Yeah.
You might see. So
So that one you showed me, the first one though, that's detached, isn't it? Completely.
yeah.
It is
Yeah,
its
the
own
first one
place.
is.
I'd see
Yeah.
if you can get the price down. So you're definitely interested, but it's a lot of work.
I'm not bothered about the work. I just more worried about. No, it is the work, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, I'm gonna invest loads into this, right? I'm probably won't be able to move right away.
No, No, of course. Some months, 2, 3 months, maybe. I don't know.
Hmm. But the problem is, I have to pay extra to the mortgage to even get the house. Never mind getting it fixed. You know.
Yeah.
I'm putting another 20 grand on top what I can normally get to buy the property, because the most the banks will give me is about 111 grand, and I've got some money. I've basically got a 30 grand, well, almost 30 grand saved.
But you need that to do the renovations.
That's the problem.
And yet, yeah.
The minimum is 10%. I could easily put 10, 11 grand in, but then I would have to pay the 20 grand on top. That's missing for that property, you know?
Yeah.
And that's all my deposit.
Yeah, that sucks, because then you got nothing to do it up with.
Then I got nothing. I've got to build up probably like another 6 months worth or something to even start building like at least a section of the house, the wiring or something. Like $4 grand alone, isn't it?
You live in that place as it is and stay healthy? I don't think so.
It's mold, man.
Right. So you're screwed. I would say it's definitely a doer-upper, and I could do it up, and I would do it up. Because that's cheaper than, and it's yours.
What do you mean doing it up? Like, I know a lot of people, they do it up by paying other people to do it, but they're paying loads. They pay like an extra like 100 grand, 200 grand more on the property.
And that's what you'd have to do if you got someone else to do it, if you couldn't do it yourself.
Would you, like, the materials themselves cost a lot, don't they?
Oh no, you can treat mold, for one. You gotta wash it and scrub it off to get
I don't mind doing DIY, but I'm not touching electrical wiring or gas.
Yeah, and I just don't like that the electric's exposed, so on the front of the walls, not inside the walls.
Would you have done that yourself? Would you go and fix that yourself, or would you get like an electrician or a gas person?
Oh, you could do it yourself, because you just go to electric panel, plug in a tester into each circuit and find out which one's which, and then when you turn the breaker off, that line's dead. Then you can pull it out and just replace it, and then you just cut a channel in the plaster. There's just a little wider than the cable, and nail it inside, and then skim it over the top and get the cables buried in the wall. Then you don't see them, or behind the kickboards at the bottom.
Yeah.
There isn't any kickboards in there, so that would be doable. You just chisel the bottom inch of plaster off the wall, run the cables along the bottom, and then put
I was hoping there was a lot less than that, because
put a
to be
timber
honest,
board over it.
Oh,
then paint it and prime it, and then it's hidden. You don't see the cables. That's what I would do. Same with the piping. You can box the piping in, because you need access to it later in case there's leaks.
Yeah, but this is the embarrassing thing about it, though. Even though once I get the place, I would have to wait months to even save up for the materials anyway. Like at least 2 months or a month.
Yeah. I mean, in your situation, it sounds like the more useful to you is to go for one of the new builds, for the simple reason you don't have to do anything. You just have to pay that money.
Just pay it, that's it.
And you don't have to do it for 5 to 10 years.
Amount of time as well.
Yeah, 5 to 10 years, I think it is.
5 years over here.
Yeah.
But the first 120 days they have to go and do it, but the rest is manufacturer's warranty. Manufacturers have to come in after 100. I think after like 2 weeks or something. I can't remember the days.
For your safety and security, that would be the way to go. The bad part.
I don't mind if it's not too big of a change.
The bad part is you don't get to choose your neighbours. So you just have to get on with your neighbours. It's not something I would want to do, but as a single guy, it's possibly something you could do. At the end of the day, it is your choice.
I know.
But I would say it's above your grade to renovate the one you...
I can get like a done up like semi-detached for 130 grand. That's been done up by other people already before I come in. Or I could just give it a redecorate myself, you know? It's structurally sound and it's ready.
Yeah. Well, the first one is structurally sound, but with the mold and everything, it's a lot of work.
Okay.
And the windows have to be replaced because you can see some of them are damaged on the outside. They're only wooden ones, so they don't last forever. And the thing on the back is a death trap waiting to happen. And you've got to put a new combination boiler in probably, and those pipes are probably very, very old. Yeah. Now, say no to the first one. Your best bet might be to go for a new build or a mod. Yes, see what they've got in that price range that you're looking at. That's already
Probably
been done up a
downgrade to a
bit.
semi-detached for that price, because the semi-detached ones aren't too bad.
Yeah.
Like the semi-detached ones are the oh, the walls need painting, or like the floor needs laminating. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not too bad.
And that's something you can do yourself.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. Get a couple of viewings for that type, then. That's my suggestion.
I just thought, you know what, my man, am I getting a bargain? Or it sounds too good to be too detached for that price when it's normally a semi-detached price.
Too good to be true, buddy. That's too much work for you. You couldn't live in there for a couple of months until you could get that mold out for one. And it'll come back if it's not treated correctly.
Wow.
It's obviously been left. It's been left open for way too long.
Do you think the person must have passed away and they've never been able to someone to buy it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Who you're buying from?
It's an estate agent. I don't know who. It's like a company they put advertised. Yeah.
I see. So maybe the maybe it's best.
Just look deserted, you know, like the whole area
Well,
is
the thing
occupied.
is,
And then
if the person that did live there died, and it's gone to the mortgage company, goes back to the mortgage company that lot, then they're supposed to sell them off cheaper anyway, not full price.
Exactly, if the bank is the one selling, so they should sell
especially-
for the price that's left to be paid off.
Yeah.
Something like that.
it's that old that there's no record. Like when I looked at the record thing, apparently they haven't got like most of the websites don't have a history of how much it was bought for, so it must have been bought a long time ago.
Yeah, so it's definitely been paid for at least probably 2 or 3 times. So why they want 130,000 for it when they've already had their money a couple of times?
No.
Yeah, sounds too good to be true, buddy. That's a lot of money for that.
This next detached house, you're going up for 300 grand plus. I ain't got that money, 300 grand, like to get a mortgage for 300 grand.
Well, that's the thing. That's like where I'm living now. This house she bought in 2000 for 85,000 Canadian dollars. Yeah. I paid the mortgage off 2 years ago completely, so it's ours. It's already been valued at well, I put a $75,000 garage on it. On top of that, brand new. That's only 4 years old. So this house has been valued now at around the $360,000 range, and it's already paid for. But yeah, okay, I'd make a profit if I sold it. Make a good
a
profit.
lot of profit, yeah, good profit.
But to buy a property of the same size,
Exactly.
it's going to cost me $500,000.
It's not that your price went up. It's
But
not that only
it's-
your price went up. All
Everybody
prices
else's
went up. That's the catch. That's the catch. You did make a profit, but still.
So it's better for me to just reinvest in it and stay here. Besides that, I like it. That's why
Of
I
course,
consider
of course,
it.
of course.
We like it here, so why would we? But when you have paid your mortgage off, 25 years down the line, and you're an older guy, you're more mature, whatever you want to call it. The thing then is, there's a thing over here called a chip reverse mortgage. What that means is when, because I'm about to retire, I won't have the income I've got now, but because my mortgage is already paid off complete and I don't owe any money on this house, we can get a chip reverse mortgage, which means a mortgage company will give me half up to 50% of the value of the house, tax free.
What's the catch?
There is no catch. They own the house when we die. It's ours. It's ours until we die. Because I've got no kids here and nobody to donate this or give this house to or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can't sell a house when you're dead, can you? Physically, you're not alive, so you can't sell.
No, that makes sense. Now I wonder how they do it, how they sell house after people have died. So they give them a.
So
Okay, I
basically,
never
they
knew how
give
that
them a
worked.
lump sum of half of what the house is worth, tax free, and it's yours. That money's yours.
And it's that
When
person
you
must have got.
die, they repossess the house. You both have to, because I'm married. Both of my wife becomes the owner, and I'm the owner. We're both owners of this house. When the second one of us dies, then the mortgage company comes in and repossesses the house. Then they can do what they want with it. They can resell it, whatever. But that's how
they
you
got half
get.
the price.
Well, no, they can sell it for whatever they want because we've both died.
But they got it for half the price, so they're
But
already making.
Right, so they've made 150,000, and then they sell the house again for full price and whatever. They've just made 150 grand. That's how it works.
Oh.
But we call it a chip reverse mortgage. It's how older couples can get their hands on a big lump sum to live their retirement their way. Not a bad idea. And it would work for me and Anne because we don't have kids here or anybody relying on us. My kids are all grown up and have their own houses in the UK. That's one thing I might do. Not that I need to. I've got money in the bank anyway, or I will have when I retire. I'm getting all my funds and so I probably won't need to do that. But if I all of a sudden decided I needed 150 grand, that's one way of doing it. Sell the house back to the mortgage company. You live in it until you die, and then they take it over. It's theirs again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna send you one more. This is my alternative, right? This is the alternative that I was thinking of getting. Worst case, like this. There's loads of these, but I want to see what's in the market because I don't want to rush into buying anything I don't want, right?
Definitely not.
So
This is a lifelong thing, so you don't want to rush in.
yeah.
Not at all.
120,000, eh? Amazing what changes in 15 years. I had a property like that. We paid 39,000 for it, and I sold it for.
You scroll down towards the property, property history site. You'll see the sale history. If you click on that, oh, there's no sale history. That means they must have bought it as a council house and then kept it. But back then, the council houses were like semi-detached, whereas now they're terraced houses. They mostly make.
Yeah, a lot of those old council ones like that would be knocked through, and they take over both halves, and it becomes detached.
But nowadays, this is.
How old is this one? The last one. How old is it?
Yeah,
So now,
about 50.
50, yeah.
probably 100 years.
At least. No, not 100.
Oh.
But at
Yeah,
least
you
50,
never know.
I think. No, yeah, you're right about it. But
Just have a
look, inside it's okay.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
renovated.
It's 50 square meter.
The bathroom is 5'7" by 4'7". That's tiny. You can't even get a bath in the 4'7".
That's the average size.
Wow.
They're about 4 or 5 meters. The bathrooms nowadays.
That's not 4 or 5 meters. That's 1.7 to 1.4.
1.7 times by 1.40.
Yeah, 4
I
foot,
guess.
5'7" by 4'7".
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, sorry, that's tiny.
That's miniature.
Just put a bathtub. I'll show it outside.
No, that's a shower. You couldn't get a bathtub
Or a
in
shower.
there. The bathtub's
Or a shower.
5'3" anyway. If you're
Yeah.
6 foot tall, how do you get in it?
Some
I'm
family
not
lived in
6
here.
foot tall.
That would be a shower. Kitchen, dining room,
The
lounge.
whole size, though. Can you see the total
14
floor
foot by
area?
13.
59 square meter or 637 square feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're
And
talking
my-
on the left
and
side, right?
And my
Blue door.
my one level I'm in now is 1,100 square foot,
Oh,
and
God.
that's only a 2-bedroom.
Can
You
you
share
see
the
the floor
yard.
plan?
Huh?
You share the yard with
Yes,
right. This
it's
is
normal. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
normal
yeah,
for
I
these
see.
ones. Yeah.
So you're buying the side of okay. For me, it's a little strange to buy just a half of a house, which is looks like one detached house, and you just buy half of it. For me, it's a
Yeah.
little
That's what it
strange
is
because
in the
I'm not
UK.
in my country. With I'm not used to that, but I guess it's normal there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's normal
Yeah,
if unless
it
if
is.
you've
I
got
mean,
a
yeah,
bit
I
of
saw
money.
it. I saw it on TV.
It's
Yeah.
stupidly normal. That's the
But
problem.
I don't know. I don't want to. It's
UK's
how they-
overcrowded, basically. That's the problem. Got too many foreigners there.
Yeah, how
So,
much? How much if you buy somewhere in the village, man? Like a village, you have a yard, like you have something like be
To
your.
be honest, I think land.
Yeah,
Actually,
you-
the kitchen's
Yeah,
it's got plenty of countertop, but you can't.
10
put any
acres, for
cat in
example,
there.
or something like that.
Oh, fuck it, I can't even afford that. Expensive, man.
Village is cheaper, right?
It's a bath.
No, more
Oh,
expensive over
there is
here.
there is a
Oh.
bath in the bathroom. Wow,
Told ya.
I'm looking at
Told
the
you.
pictures now. Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
The
That's
world's
better than
smallest
is that better
garden.
than a detached house? I mean, the option. I mean, viable, more financial viable, and it's not much. It doesn't look like it needs to be done much, other than
know,
just with the
hey.
redecoration and
Do you want to hear
Re-
something really funny?
but
Well, it's amazingly funny. What was the square footage of that?
whole square footage.
Yeah.
I just had that open. Let me just open up again.
Sorry, yeah.
The
I can do
square
it.
footage is 637 square feet,
Okay.
or
Yeah. That's okay. Do it in square feet.
approximately.
How much? Yeah.
637 approximately.
Okay.
That's what they're saying.
What area do you think my garage is?
1,000? You told me.
960
Ah.
square
Look
feet.
at the house.
Just my garage is bigger than your floor plan of that house.
You make me feel like
That's-
shit now.
That's my
Thank
shed.
you.
That's my garage. My workshop garage.
Would
that
you
I
let me live
built.
would you let me live in your garage?
Yeah, I'll let you move over in my
Perfect.
garage. As long as you keep it tidy. Fuck, that's bad, eh? My garage is bigger than your fucking house. Ow.
Leave me alone. I'm not gonna get any bigger than this.
And
Gosh,
And I built it for $75,000. That's all it cost me to actually build it brand new 4 years ago. Wow. Oh dear, Basho, what are we going to do with you, buddy? And I've got
My
nothing
thoughts?
compared to some people. I feel
I'm
happy.
basically fucked.
I feel, yeah, basically, you're fucked. You need to move abroad. But you like your job, don't you?
Don't mind moving abroad, it's just getting work abroad. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah. Not only that, a lot of countries, it's hard to get into now. You need the money to start, the collateral to start in the first place. You don't have that because you don't actually have a house or a mortgage. You're trying to get one, so I can see your point and where it's hard for you.
You can go for auctions. Go for auctions.
Auction you
Yeah.
off.
I mean, the house is like auction house. No, day by day now, I can't believe your garage is bigger than a house.
Yeah, it is
Check-
expensive.
I'll take a... Oh, hang on, I might have a picture on here. Oh, it is fucking big.
Imagine me sitting in a bathtub. That's probably like probably your door. The length of your door. Oh my god.
Not there down. No, that's not it. Where's the one of older phone pics? No, it's got to be there.
My brother got in brand new building apartment, Last no, he moved this year. Last year, I mean now it's 2022. He moved a few months ago, like October or November, 2-3 months ago. Brand new building. The apartment has it's two bedrooms apartment and one living room with kitchen and dining area and living area. Whole detached a hall that separates the bedrooms and one bathroom. 44,000 euros. 44,000 euros. Around 75 square meters. That's the price here.
I've just found out, Caveman, if I want a property your size, I would have to pay £500,000.
Wow.
So in Serbia, man, for 40,000,
525.
you can be in the brand new 80-90 square meter apartment. So
Okay,
if you do job online, if you do online job like via internet, remote or something, move your ass to Serbia and you can be a boss. Huh?
Yeah, most of them ones. I guess.
About a village. Let me tell you about a village. The whole house, like more than 100 square meters, with a so huge yard, like more than almost 30 acres, for 30,000 euros.
Yeah.
Yeah, the house was not older than 10-15 years old house. All settled, just move in. So
I looked into building my house like on land myself. It costed too much. It's too expensive, man. I feel like I need to save 50 grand or something to get something reasonable. Another 20 grand or something. Ugh.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Thanks, Caveman and Coffee, for the help. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I didn't mean to be
But
nasty.
now I know I'm always gonna have a house just smaller than your garage.
No, I'm just comparing the. But look, approximate wage
I
here
live in a closet.
monthly. Approximate monthly wage here is in Serbia is they say it's like 500 euros, which is overestimated because they it's the political way. But I say the 350, 400 is the real one. So of course it's reasonable. I know that I talked to a guy. He was a shoe seller, and I think he was getting like 1,800 pounds per month.
Yeah, I think there's at
So
least
that's it.
over here 1,200 euros here is the minimum month, I think. Oh, between
Yes, of course, and the price has got to be twice much more expensive, of course.
it's just crazy.
Well, that's how it is.
I'll just live in a tent. There's
Yeah.
people who convert like canal boats into houses and just
Yeah,
live on the
exactly.
water.
Yeah, exactly.
They buy them for like 10,000, or some of them they buy them for like you want a luxurious one like 50,000 or 100,000, and then they just live in the water.
Exactly. There's that channel on YouTube, living big in a tiny house. So I see people are making houses, building houses of a lot of things like containers.
And you know what's scary about it? That's considered to be one of the bigger ones for that price. So there's even smaller
Yeah,
than that.
I found out actually that those things are more expensive because they require special, measures and special everything.
Well, some of my colleagues at work, they bought a house like in like 2000. No, like what is it, 1999, 2000, and they used to buy them for like £8,000.
Okay, look in my avatar. I'll just put a picture of half my garage on. In
Just half. So
viewer.
you just wanna show off just half.
No, I'm just showing you what sort of work I do.
Oh. Hold on,
That's-
let me
that's-
see.
Obviously, there's no car in there.
How do I see
car.
this on my phone?
Oh, no, you can't then. Oh, you're on your phone here? I thought you were on Steam.
Oh, you sent me on Steam.
No, it's in TeamSpeak, sorry, on my avatar. I was trying to
got
send
the
it.
app.
I don't know how to send pictures onto Steam. If I did,
I don't think you
would.
can.
Yeah.
You have to use an app called Discord or something. That's a pain in the butt. Or like something else. Let me see.
Oh, no biggie. I'll show you when you.
No, I
Online
can click on your
sometime.
profile. I've done it once. I don't know how I did it.
That's not the house. That's the garage. Half of it. Trying to find the other picture for the other half, but you got to look at one at a time anyway.
Yeah, it's a huge one, man.
That's 2 bays. Each bay on the concrete, you see the lines on the floor. Each bay is 10 foot wide, and there's 4 bays. The door at the front is 18 foot wide. Just the roll up door.
But it's your work. I mean, it's mandatory for your job, for your life. So of course, it has to be. Everything has to have its own order. You know where exactly where you put this thing for this.
I'm-
And then, so
I'm surprised you haven't made your own bar.
I appreciate it. I like it.
Hey, buddy, you thinking of making your own bar?
Oh, I don't need to. It's different. There's in that garage now. That's when I first did it. It's slightly changed. There's a 56-inch widescreen TV on the right up on the wall in the middle. I've got 5.1 surround sound stereo system in there.
Got a cinema, basically.
Yeah, I've got cable TV piped into that garage. It's got everything. It doesn't have a sink or anything like that because I come in the house for that. But is that the picture you're on? Oh, that's the other half. It's like okay.
You're not
So
playing games from there, right?
Have you seen? No, I can. But
But you can,
okay.
of course.
I'll send you a picture of the other half, which is full of crap. Looking the other way. Hang on. See if I can change that one now.
All right.
Self. The avatar.
45.
Where's the picture? That one. Oops. Oh. This fucking program. Trying to do that.
It's not going there.
Yeah, the TV's not even in there. Oh well. You did this. How did I get? Where are you? Oh, there it is. Okay, got it. I want to move it. That one. Okay, that's the other half. Looking the other way in my avatar again.
Well, I need to refresh it. Ah, it's the other angle.
That's looking the other way. That's how big it is. That's the other half. Obviously, it's storage because all our deck chairs and everything goes in there for winter that are normally up on the deck. It's a little full on the other half. There was a power boat in there, but that's like you had to get rid of that. For the swimming pool instead. Oh, that's the old living room after I did the floor with the computer in there still. That's changed. Not that anymore. Your little office now.
this area of your garage you can use tomorrow for some other profession. You can do a lot of different professions in this room.
Oh yeah. Well, I've already used it for spray painting, and yeah, I got pictures of all shit all over the floor where I'm.
You live in a
Like,
village, right? That's in some village, you know.
No, it's not a village. It's rural. What they
I was
call
thinking
rural.
when you like you get your pension or something, because you know sometimes you
Yeah, I
just
got
feel
a
like
big
maybe you can rent it or something now to someone.
got a big yard. It has a good sized yard because you've got a swimming pool in the back now as well, and another shed.
Yard is very important, you know. I was living for years in apartment, but man, having a detached house with a yard, it's priceless. Especially when we got these measures, you know, for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
People are literally running away from cities, getting back to their moms and granddad's houses, whatever. Ah, now you're coming back, huh? Now you're coming back, huh? Smiling to them. You wanted, everyone wanted to go to city, huh? You wanted to be a city people, huh? And now
No,
you're
I
coming back.
I
Now,
I hate the city. I'm not glad I live in the country now.
What?
well, only smart people would say that. I believe so. That's what I believe. And no one can justify me to persuade me otherwise.
It's a bit
Oh.
backwards in here. I don't know if it's the same in Canada though, but the more rural you go, the more they'll charge you.
Yeah. Oh, there's a
The more-
picture. There's my old boat that I sold a couple of years ago. Hang on, let's put that one on.
I think I've seen your boat before, but I can't see them. But I'll be on tomorrow. See them
Okay.
if you another time.
I gotta find
But
a way
yeah,
of putting
I think
pictures on
I've seen some
Steam.
photos of your garage before, to be honest.
Probably. I used to put
You
them
were
on
doing it all
Facebook.
the time when I spoken to you. It wasn't long ago that you finished, right? What, a year or two ago?
Yeah. That is true. Yeah. I did a lot of work on it. Yeah, I needed it finishing.
It's worth.
Yep. Because when the swimming pool went in, I used the garage. That's also got the pump system and the filter
You
and everything. Pardon? I can swim, yeah. Of course I can. Everybody?
No, I mean, like, sorry. No, there's some. I've got a friend who's like a grown-ass 26-year-old. He just lies down Lilo, and I like to push him in the deep end so he could learn to swim, but he just flops.
Oh, no,
But
I can swim.
mean, like, do you swim in it? Sorry, that was my question. I was meant
Yeah.
to ask. Sorry.
In the summer.
Like,
At the moment, it's a 4-foot deep block of ice, but in the summer we swim in it. Yeah.
you know, one of my colleagues' mother, she's got a swimming pool outside in England, in the north. Don't ask why.
Yeah,
And
it
I was
stays out. Yeah, ours is outdoor as well, above ground.
But it doesn't get warm enough here, does it?
Just
in
over
England.
here.
Just,
Well, don't forget, I built that heating system thing for it last year, but it doesn't quite work how I wanted. But the idea is good. I'm just going to do some alterations this year.
Does it go above 30 where you are? Over here, it doesn't go above 20. Like 20 is basically low 20s.
Yeah, it hits the high 30s over here.
Doesn't hit that. It's no point swimming if it's below 20.
My pool gets up to 80 degrees, which is not bad in summer. That's nice. Without heating, all depends on the weather. But in general, we get 3 or 4 months swimming time out of it.
you'll be so like when if you ever come back, probably not, I don't know, but if you ever come back to England and you go to the new modern houses, you'll be like, oh my god, is this even a house or is it a shack?
Oh, I got relations over there that got some big old English farmhouses.
Oh, not too bad.
I mean, one of my uncles, but he did run he ran a garage for DAF in Leyland, doing all their maintenance on the trucks on the A14, and he had a huge garage that he built up from nothing. And when he retired about 8 or 9 years ago, he sold the business. I think he got something like 7 or 8 million for it. So he paid off everything, and that farmhouse is theirs. And that farmhouse has probably got 7 or 8 bedrooms, 3 or 4 bathrooms, 2 kitchens, 2 living rooms.
Okay,
A really huge place, all made of sandstone. In a little village in Northamptonshire. Nice.
I'm gonna start building outside somewhere. Park. I don't know. I'll get some little bit of land and just make a mud house.
Yeah. And expand. You can watch videos on it. I think the hardest part in life is actually getting the property.
It is
Wow.
most important
Property-
and
The
most
property
hardest.
for one, and the backup support money or whatever to do the building.
But look, Bash, if you got that money in your bank and you plan to buy a house, something, well, might not be maybe the how to say the true. Maybe I'm wrong, but according to my information I got, we should invest into some real economy, not to have the money like opened, because we live in the very unstable situation at the moment.
I just want a roof over my head. I could say I own, to be honest. Yeah, how small or big it is. I just want a viable buy, that's all, but it's not easy.
Of course.
Because it's so many well, there's so little choices right now, to be honest.
Yeah, it's more like little choice than big choice. That is the problem.
They release them in small bits, and it's like the houses that aren't getting sold just being kept on for sale because they know people have just done it up and people aren't buying it for their expected price because of what it is. They've overpriced it, basically.
Yeah.
Like, who is gonna get that detached? Like, if there is somebody, I'll get a bet, but like, no one's gonna rush to buy it. Say that.
Which is why you'd think they'd bring the price down to be able to sell it.
Even the fella even said to me, "You sure you want to look at that one indirectly?" Like he said, "I've got other properties for the same price if you want to have a look." Because you do know that it does need a bit of work.
That's an understatement. There's a lot of work.
Right of it, yeah.
But yeah, selling point is it's detached.
That's
The
about it.
That's the only selling point. And even then, it's detached, but would you want to risk parking a car on that driveway? The slabs are going to move underneath. But it's been down a while. It would be a nice challenge. It's something I would do. But I definitely don't think I'd go.
I would try all this stuff, but
I just don't think I would. Not,
ready.
yeah, not for 130,000. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just as I said, I've only got 30. Like I've got 30 grand basically saved, but I can only get a mortgage for 110. Even if I go for the bare minimum, that's 11 grand. I'll only have like 29. Like, sorry, or is it 29? Is it? Yeah, no, 10. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's not that much. The problem is I can only buy another property for another like 10 grand more, 20 grand more. You know.
Yeah.
So that'll be 130.
You need it so that if you do that, it's got no work required, at least for a few
That's
years
the problem.
until you can get sorted out.
New enough where I've basically got on myself where I'm not safe, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, jobs these days, you never know if it's not going to happen, you know.
Exactly. You could lose it tomorrow. You just don't know, do you? You can't rely on anybody apart from yourself.
I'll find something though.
Of course, man.
Need to be patient.
Of course you will.
I mean, what are you living in at the moment? A flat?
Bungalow.
You paying the
What
rent
would-
or it's yours?
I pay rent.
How much?
Not much, it's my old fellas, so.
Nah. Stay there then.
Yeah, stay there.
They did say I
Stay
could
there.
stay
You,
there.
you don't have
That's
headaches.
what they said to me. That's what they said. Oh, you can stay there while you fix it up. As well.
But you still
No.
need to pay rent. They'll
No.
still want the rent.
No, it's cheaper than most places with the rent,
Yeah.
you know. It's not like they're making profit. He's already pretty much paid off his mortgage.
Yeah.
But I just wanna. Basically, my aim is before I'm 30, I wanna own a place of my own. About 4 years. So so I can pay off the mortgage before I'm
Retiring.
retired, basically. No, but you know what? My retirement age to even claim pension is 68 in the UK for me.
And it'll probably be 70 by the time you do retire.
Wow.
They put it
Yeah,
up.
so
They put it
that's
up
like
every
the
couple of
point.
years, don't they?
Nowadays,
Yeah,
reaching
my parents
70
like
is
55. You
is
never know. Most like
advanced.
I don't even know how long I'll survive. You know, I might make it to 60. You never know. Who knows?
We live in a
But I
very
still pay.
stressful time, so it's very hard. But I mean, no, I'm just saying. No, we should be positive always, of course.